Wow. Here we go.
Yeah, marvelous. Okay. I'm on my Frank Lucas shit. 3-piece suits, Valentino cufflinks, LV shoes. I bring the shorty closer, just enough to feel the gun on the holster. Out on the balcony, feeling on the breeze. City skylines, we're puffing on some trees. Cup of Henny on the rocks with the soda. Maybach, front of the building with the chauffeur. Yeah, and he waiting on me. Got umbrella in his hands and my name in the seats. No gift, baby, no thanks. No chinchillas, baby, so what happened to Frank? No phone calls, transactions hand in hand. Give the drugs to Rick, the money to Benny Banks. Talk to Craze and he talks to me. Keep my business out the streets, it's the ART.
Woo!
Let's go, marvelous. I love that theme music.
I mean, first of all, I don't think me and Craze ever got into the conversation of who that young man is that's on that record.
That shit gives me life every time we play that
It
record.
does. It just
Tell him,
like
Rick, tell him who it is.
so. The young man that did the song, his name is Art. He's from Washington Heights. He passed away in 2012. He used to do a ton of hip hop, and me and Craze, my brother, man, we wanted to incorporate him in the show some way, somehow. And I reached out to his mother because me and Craze used to make the music with him. We gave her all the masters, and we asked her for permission for him to be in the theme song. So it just hit me right now. So we've never spoken about it, but that's the theme song. Anyways, Eli Jas is here.
What's good?
Craze Boogie is late because he was making a hookah.
I'm here.
Led's mic is muted, but Led Black is here.
It's mad loud in the background, so that's why.
Led Black is here.
Yeah.
And this young gentleman who's doing a lot. He's a photographer. Apparently, he's great at Instagram, and he's doing a documentary right now. It's called The Last Movie Theater in Washington Heights. Anthony Rojas is here. Welcome back to the show. To both of you, actually.
Thank you for having me.
So, Anthony, how you feeling, man? This documentary is coming out. What made you want to make a film about that theater?
That was wild, man. It was a wild concept. Please tell us.
Yes.
No, yeah, for sure. Well, first of all, the theater's like right down the block, or it was right down the block. I used to go there literally every weekend with my family. With my pops, he used to take me there every birthday. So, man, that movie theater has a special place in my heart. And, you know, when I saw that they demolished it, it was like one of the saddest things. And, you know, I refused to, you know, kind of let that memory die. So I'm trying to uphold this legacy in a way through this film.
Keeping it alive.
You know? Yes,
so
man.
The theater holds a special place for everybody in this. Let's go around in a circle. Anthony, you go first. Worst movie you ever saw there? Best movie you ever saw there?
Oh man.
Oh my gosh.
Damn, that's a tough one.
You got some time to think about it. Anthony goes first.
Okay. Best movie I ever saw there, the first Spider-Man.
With Tobey Maguire.
Spider-Man with Tobey Maguire. I'm like obsessed with Spider-Man first and foremost, but that was just like that like made me fall in love with wanting to make movies and like getting lost in like movies. Worst.
Come on, it's a lot. There's a lot of movies.
That's hard.
A lot of terrible movies played in there.
I would say, do you remember I might get hate for this, but do you remember the Sankey Panky movies?
Yeah. You're not gonna get hate.
It's you know, it's all love, but like, you know,
I saw that one too, unfortunately.
It's a big drop off from Spider-Man. So I get it.
Okay. Yeah, I can see that's a big it's a big leap for sure.
Led, give me yours, man.
My favorite movie I think was Eddie Murphy, Delirious. I snuck in there mad young, and I was blown away by how dope it was. That was my movie theater, you know what I mean? So
this was 84 or 86.
86 or some shit like that. You know what I'm saying? Like people don't realize like Wash Heights and one of the first had 3 movie theaters. You had the Astral, which is the Latino movie theater, and then you had the porno theater on Wadsworth, where Colorina's at. You know what I'm saying? And then you had the RKO. So that's probably my favorite movie because it was like I love Eddie Murphy. You know what I mean? Eddie Murphy's that dude. You know what I mean? So And bad movies, there was no bad movies because everyone was smoking weed in that theater. And even before you was even smoking, you was getting contact. So what was bad about being in a movie theater? You know what I'm saying? Like whatever it was good.
All right, so my cousin Gene commented. He said Street Fighter was the worst and best was Adam's Family. So Street Fighter, because we had to make a line that went around the block 2 times around the block, and that movie was bad as is. Yeah, it was big Uptown. I would have to say The Village by M. Night Shyamalan. I saw it in that movie theater, and
the best or the worst?
The worst, the best movie I've ever seen. There, I'm agree with Gene. It's like Adam's Family or something else.
Okay, yeah, I don't remember the best. Yeah.
Because if you remember the theater, if you were in one of the rooms, you were able to also sometimes listen to the film next door.
Yes, sir. Yeah,
it was kind of like
Chinese food in there too.
Yeah, so it was. It was great. It was great, and I worked in 181st, the McDonald's 181st. So on Wednesdays they had a special. It was like half off ticket, and then people would like bum rush McDonald's right afterwards. So those are some of the memories that I had. Shout out to Muntaz. But The Village stands out to me because I was mad that I went to watch that film.
It was horrible.
It was terrible. I'm thinking Sixth Sense. I'm thinking things like that. But whatever. Craze. Give me yours.
I was trying to look some up to make something up, but I don't really remember the best.
Oh, Selena was the best. I saw Selena there.
Oh, then that probably would, because I probably saw it there too. That probably would be the best. But I don't really remember the best. I just remember the worst movie I saw in there was A Kid in King Arthur's Court. It was like some fucking like King Arthur. Like I don't know why I was in that movie. Like I just remember watching it and being like 9 years old. Like this is not it. This is not it. But yeah, that's my. I had a lot of dope memories. We used to sneak in there all the time. So I don't know. Maybe that's why they closed the shit down. But
damn, Grace, you got to put that out there, man. It's the only theater you pay for one ticket and you can watch all the movies on the marquee. Ellie, what was your favorite film?
Well, I don't have a favorite myself, but I'm gonna agree with Anthony with the worst because when I went with a girlfriend and I was like, yeah, let's go watch it, and that was the one that was playing, and I was like, oh my god, fell asleep. But yeah,
it's not it.
Yeah, it wasn't. It definitely wasn't.
So I'm guessing for Anthony, it was the fact that the theater was in your home, close by, and it inspired you to be a filmmaker. I'm guessing that's what hit you, and I don't know. I'm asking you, is that what made you go into that process?
Yeah, for sure. I think obviously, as kids, we don't realize like the reason why we're watching movies. Like obviously, like we're entertained because it's a movie. There's action and adventure and all of that. But another reason is because Power Rangers is because movies are a form of escape. And I now looking back now, subconsciously I realized that for whatever I was going through in life at the time, that was my coping mechanism, was movies. So eventually, I went from watching movies to doing the impossible and eventually making them, and then making this documentary and making movies that I care about, and then I want to share with my community and give back a little. So
how'd you get Led Black? By the way, is I don't want to say the mayor because that's DP, but
that's my brother Mike Jones,
the governor, the end all see all. If you don't got an approval from Led Black Uptown, you ain't nobody. So how Led get involved in this project?
Well, I reached out to him. He was one of the first people I reached out to. He running Uptown Collective, and I know Led from we worked with each other with the New York Latino Film Festival. So he was the first one that came to mind because he's a staple in this community, and he's been here longer than I am. So he shared a few of his memories and a little bit of the history. So Led was the go-to person.
So if we're going to see this film, what can we expect from the documentary? I know Led's going to be in there.
Cry, bro? Am I going to cry?
I know Led's in it, so I'll have to watch it.
You might cry. There's a 90% chance you're going to cry.
90. Ooh,
I need to be prepared for that. Because I can't be getting emotional.
You need a reason.
Yeah.
but not to what to expect. Don't what not to expect. Don't expect like a traditional documentary. I know people often have negative connotations with documentaries. But I decided to take a little twist this documentary. It's kind of through, I call it a magical realist documentary, which sounds crazy, but I incorporated, it's very surreal, it's very magical, it's almost like a fiction movie except documentary. So there's a bunch of different elements in there. It's a mixture of like interviews and like I actually created like a full scale model of the theater, of the building of the theater. So I utilized that in the documentary. So yeah, I would call it a magical realist documentary, going back to our roots. Magical realism is, heavy in novels and narratives. So yeah, don't
Marquez, for sure.
Yeah, for sure. So don't expect a traditional documentary.
So, Led, you get a phone call from Anthony Rojas. And he's like, yo, I'm doing a doc. Do you want to be in it? What's your first reaction?
Of course, because I already know what he's about. You know what I mean? Like, he's just been putting it down for a minute. Like I said, being the social media manager for the New York Latino Film Festival, I'm exposed to a lot of shit that's not Uptown related. Even though he's from Uptown, I get exposed to a lot of other stuff. So he was doing stuff for them. He did flyers, trailers. He was already involved with so much. So, and again, I've known him for a minute. So I was like, yeah, bet, let's do it. Like, if as long as it's for Uptown, like, I'm a good judge of character. I grew up here when it was you had to be a good judge of character to survive, right? Yeah. So I could just tell he's a good dude. And you know what I'm saying? We vibe right away. We've been friends for a minute now. So it just makes sense.
So now, Ellie.
Yes.
I know Ellie has a question for Anthony.
I do. I have my notebook. But okay. So I know you've been working on a lot of projects. We met briefly on our last interview, right? But yes. I want to know how you deal with, the different feedback with your work. Have you gotten any negative feedback? Like, how do you deal with the negative feedback if you have gotten any? And how do you deal with the positive?
That's a good question. Oof.
I know. I know it's something that you can think about. But the thing is that, even with me, with my music and the things that I do, I get negative feedback. And I'm like, you know what? Like, you can feel two different types of ways about it. You can feel, empowered, like, okay, you know what? I'm going to do better. You can take it as criticism. But I think it's more about the discernment between like, okay, should I take this advice or should I not? You know what I mean? Or am I on the right path anyway? So what's your perspective?
For sure. I mean, I think like most people's initial reaction obviously can be a little salty because that's your baby, that's your work, you hold that close to you. But I think at the end of the day, whatever feedback you get, and I wouldn't call it negative, it would just be like whatever critiques you get is only to make the work better. So obviously, like, discern whether or not you can utilize this feedback in order to make the work better. So yeah, I've gotten comments on past films on like, oh, I think you should do, and it's also like oh, I respect your opinion on that, but I don't think I would go that direction as well. So it's a little bit of both. It's a little bit of both. And yeah. And positive feedback, like
who doesn't love it? Yeah.
Yeah, I take it all in. I'm very grateful for
it. Yeah.
Yeah. So, I'm really grateful for everyone who likes my work.
Give this man advice on how you would handle negative feedback. And how you see it?
I mean, I think with negative feedback, you gotta develop a thick skin, right? Because it's like there's difference, like especially nowadays, especially on social, right? Like social, like I said, people on social are bullies that can't fight, right? Because they love to talk shit, right? When you see them in person, it's like trolls, right? So that's a difference, right? So a lot of times, there's a difference between constructive, like, yo, nah, you could have done that better. You could have. That's different, right? Like, but most times you just get hate. So hate is hate, you know what I mean? You can't even engage it. Trolls are trolls. You can't get too crazy about it because it'll throw you off your game.
Yes.
Right? And it's like you can't be off your game. So again, constructive criticism is like, yo, I'm gonna hit you on the DM and say, yo, this and that. But if you put it on my comments, you just hate it.
Yes. Right? Yes. That's just a troll. That's just to get under your skin.
Right, you're not trying to make my game better. You're just trying to hate. So again, I've developed a real thick skin because I can't delve into all that bullshit. I can't be negative.
There's no time for that.
No, there's no time for that.
No time.
So we got a few questions actually from some people that are watching. Rosanna wants to know where and when can she see the documentary?
Got you. So it's currently in its festival run. So usually the way that works is when you submit to
I need that plug for it.
When you submit to film festivals, you usually can't post it online publicly. But obviously I'll be screening at hopefully a bunch of film festivals, fingers crossed, including the New York Latino Film Festival, because that's the holy grail.
Please tell me there's a screening going to be happening uptown somewhere, please.
Oh
yeah.
I mean, if that is involved.
Yeah, well, because of the year, I don't even know yet, so I don't know what's happening yet. So that should be going out soon.
Got you.
United Palace.
We want to be on that committee. What's up? We want to make that happen.
United Palace.
Yeah.
I'm just sorry. Go ahead,
Anthony.
Sorry.
No. Possibly. You know, I would love to have a screening uptown.
Palace, all that lead. What's up?
Yo.
Yeah.
Nah, it's up to Calixto. Calixto Chinchilla is the decider. So it's like I can't divulge or say anything. But
let's go.
The Bronx is uptown too. So that's what I'm saying.
Oh, so hold on.
Facts.
Craze and I just launched Uptown Live Media. So Craze is from the Bronx. I'm from Wash Heights. But it's for us the way we represent Harlem, Wash Heights, Inwood, and the Bronx. So we're telling stories and we're doing shows from that region right there. So when you hear Uptown, I just don't mean Washington Heights.
That's right.
We're 100%.
The Bronx. That's right.
All of it.
There's one more question. This comes from Andrew Edson. What are your influences, Anthony?
First and foremost, Lin-Manuel Miranda. That's the number one up there. I think he's done a lot for our community. And you know, he's dealt with a lot of pressure and a lot of things on his shoulders, but he's made art for us and he's brought representation to us. So, you know, Lin-Manuel is like that just shows that like a kid from Washington Heights could actually make it and actually like be fulfilled with his own art and, you know, obviously have that be commercialized and all the rest of that. But Lin-Manuel, Wes Anderson films, if you guys know Wes Anderson.
100%. I know. He just announced he's doing a new film today with Bill Murray.
Yeah. Yes. The French Dispatch. Yes, sir. So Wes Anderson's a big one. You'll see that in the doc. And
Benny Banks said you should also be an actor.
I agree with that.
He's an actor too. He does it all.
Yeah. I acted in my first short. That got into the Inwood Film Festival. So shout out the Inwood Film Festival as well. Because Aaron Sims, the director of Inwood Artworks, he's also in this documentary. So shout out to them. They're doing a lot for Uptown in terms of the performing arts and everything. So
I like the fact that I've never seen the documentary and I already know a lot of the people that are in it. And I like the fact that you stuck to the core of the neighborhood and you reached out to the right people. So it feels like you got a lot of the elements in it. Is there something in the film that, you know, not to divulge too much, that you wanted to add or do that you weren't able to? I mean, besides have me, Crazy Boogie, and Nelly in it.
Word, yeah.
Right.
Great question, Rick, by the way. You know, good one.
Yeah. I wanted to interview the owners of it to get their perspective, because from what I know, it was family owned for many years. So I wanted to interview them. Unfortunately, I could not like get in contact with them, but I did get to interview a person that worked at the movie theater, because that was a goal of mine. I was like, I need to interview someone that worked at a movie theater.
Yeah.
So I interviewed this wonderful lady, and you know, she shared some touching memories of her actually like meeting her first boyfriend there, having her first kiss in the theater. So a lot of people have reached out to me. Yeah. So a lot of people have reached out to me just like sharing their stories, which is like the best part of this.
I love that.
some theaters host like really big premieres. I vaguely remember it hosting. It might have been Selena. It might have been something, but they did host a huge premiere. Was that involved in the doc when you were doing it? Do you speak on that? Because um, I remember there was a lot
Yeah,
of
it'd
traffic
be
on
dope to know
181st.
yeah,
Yeah.
the history like
Word.
some of those
Mhm.
big things, but we don't know without giving too much. We
No,
don't
I
know.
honestly, when I was a kid, I remember there was one event. I'm trying to remember what it was, but I knew it was hard to get to 181st Street, and I knew that there was something going on in the theater. I think it might have been the Nueva York premiere.
Could be.
Now
Oh,
that
I
I'm thinking
see. It might
about
have
it,
Could
been.
yeah.
be.
It might have
Could
been.
be. Yeah.
Yeah.
Low
I
key,
know.
yeah.
I also know. My bad.
No, go
I
ahead.
also know the Dominican Film Festival, I believe, like was
Yeah.
hosted there like for many years, so that might have also been it. Yeah.
So the theater, I mean, for we were just joking about worst memories and stuff like that, and the sticky floors or whatever. But it was our spot,
For real.
just like the Blockbuster that was not too far from there. Jimmy Oto's was right off the block, by the way. It's not there anymore. Oh my God, great
Yo, that
food,
was the best. That was
Real,
the best.
real.
great food. So it was our
Facts.
only
Jimmy Auto.
last living
Yeah.
link to it because there was one on was it 181st led 181st and St. Nicholas.
What the other theater?
Yeah, there was another
It
one
was
on that.
right off Audubon. It was the Astral. That was
Mhm,
that's the Latino movie theater.
mhm.
And again, that's you making a good point though, because a lot of people don't realize like back in the days, 181st was really the center of
Yes.
Uptown. It's
Mhm,
Dykeman now, right?
mhm,
But back then it was 181st. And then the Astral was ill because the Astral was the Latino movie theater. So you had Cantinflas, you had all
mhm,
that old school shit. But it was dope that there the concession stand had instead of popcorn, they had fucking Cuban sandwiches and
mm,
noches, you know what I'm saying? And there was a mural in that fucking theater of the natives in Hispaniola looking at Columbus coming with the three ships. You know what I'm saying? So it's like one of the first used to be the shit, and it ain't no more. But maybe it might be. But that's what's interesting about all that happening one in one.
That's facts. That's true.
so yes, now that you said that, it brings like flood of memories.
The
um
Woolworth. We'll put the Woolworth.
War.
Yeah, the Woolworth is
I
real.
remember going to 181st. I didn't go to McDonald's. My family would take me to the Burger King that was near where that theater used to be.
Yeah, the Burger King. Yeah, the Burger King. Yeah,
The
it was
Burger
on
King was
181
right
in St. Nick. It was on corner
And
St. Nick.
yep.
Yeah, where the
So
children's place is at right now.
hopefully 181st could again be restored to its glory. I remember there being a lot of shops, a lot of like foot traffic going around. The theater was the epicenter. Like growing up on Friday, you
Yep.
look forward to Fridays. Either you were gonna rent movies from Blockbusters and get some pizza and go back to the crib, or you were going to the flicks.
Yo, we may be dating ourselves, but I remember that should be like $3 on Wednesdays or some shit like
I
that.
don't remember
Yes.
the price. I don't
Yo,
remember the price.
so I'll tell you the exact
Like
price
$3.50 on Wednesdays, $6 any other
because I
time.
worked right across the street and I was 17, 18 years old. It was $3.50 on Wednesdays for a movie ticket, and it
Wow.
was
Facts.
on all movies on the marquee. It wasn't like yo $3.50. You got to see Universal Soldier
It's
or whatever.
whatever.
It was $3.50, and if you brought your tickets up to McDonald's, there was also a special.
Damn.
Oh, I didn't
Yeah.
know that. Wow.
So I knew that because maybe that's how we could find out who owned the theater. There was like an agreement with them because it's
Mm.
like as soon as you walked out,
Right across the street. Yeah.
it's right there. And before there was like a walk up window or whatever. And I remember Wednesdays was a big night for that McDonald's because of the influx of traffic that would come there. So it was 350. Craze Boogie is 100% correct.
That's crazy.
What
That
does
corner feel weird though. That corner feels weird to see it so barren, see nothing there. You're like, wow, that's crazy. It's the end of an era for real.
So I drove. I live in Queens now because I married a Queens girl. But I drove with my family. I was going to Jersey and made a pit stop in the Heights. There's a gas station on the block, so I was filling up my car, and then I drove up, and you don't see anything there.
Nothing. That's crazy.
There was like a Carolinas, which was like a store in the corner. There was a Hobbyland. There was a bunch of things in that one sector. So to see that whole thing being blown out,
crazy.
It's insane. And by the way, the video that Anthony posted online, I think you did it with a drone. How'd you do that shot where you zoomed out? Was it with a drone?
Yeah. It was with a drone. I contacted this friend of mine. Her name's Young Wepa. She's an artist, and like she does photography, and she does a bunch of things, and I know she had access to a drone. And she does these beautiful shots. So I was like, yo, I need you to get on this. And she got that beautiful shot of like just going up of the empty parking lot. So yeah.
So I'm gonna try to share this video on the interview itself. But how did you get into filmmaking? I don't think I asked you that directly before we go into these funny segments that we're about to do with you.
Hi. Well, like I said before, it was just watching movies, and then around the time of middle school, I started making YouTube videos, which I think a lot of us did at the time.
Yeah.
And they were just like stupid little like skits that I still have, and they're privated. So like, like
he made sure they were private now.
Wait, you sending me these videos though?
I don't know about that. That's the exclusive. You know, that's but
it's all right. I got Leto send it to me.
I had the Justin Bieber bangs. It was crazy.
Oh my god! We gotta see it. We gotta see it now.
So Anthony was on the show before, and he was like really timid and shy when we were doing the Uptown art show because his design came in second. But then like he was gonna be on the Rick A show further down the line, so I started looking through his Instagram, and I'm like, look at this kid, 6-pack out, like all his.
He's not shy. We the ones that say that they're shy that aren't shy.
Modeling.
It's
like his posts are fire though. Like he'll put up a dope post and the caption is fire. Like the visuals is dope. You could tell the man has great creativity. So I was like, all right, look at this young. How old are you, by the way, Anthony?
Young king right here.
I'm 20. I just turned 23.
It's the baby. Yay!
Awesome. Michael Jordan year.
Oh, June 27th, right?
Jordan year.
June 27th.
Yes,
oh, mine is June 28th. Okay, Cancer baby.
Rick is asking you that information. What's your social?
I'm just trying to.
Yo, man.
I'm trying to put the young man on.
We fucking with Rick, do you have that video, bro? What's up?
I'm looking for it, but Anthony was finishing his point though.
My bad.
Oh yeah, so I was just making YouTube videos, and then in high school, I was the go-to like kind of like videographer, photographer, and then eventually in college, I decided to pursue it as my major, and I just went from there. Started making short films, started submitting to festivals, and just picked up. So it's my passion. It's my way. It's my therapy. It's my means of expression. So
favorite film that you've done besides this documentary?
That's a good question. It's another documentary called Con Dios. And it was a documentary I did about my mother, who's been like a community activist in Washington Heights for over 40 years. And how like even with like health problems, she's older, she's like late 60s. So just her triumphs and like her journey through Washington Heights. So like that's definitely, that film like is really close to my heart. I got Con Dios tatted.
I love it. Yes.
It's just a thing. Every time I leave the house, no, it's privated. It's private right now. Okay. But eventually,
give us the link.
Look out for that. I'll give you all the private link.
Les gonna send me the unlisted link. I got it.
Why are you trying to get Les? Why are you trying to?
I'm not doing that.
I'm trying to put heat on Les right now. Like Les got me. He got me.
That's why I got you.
Les my loco. All right?
Like I don't got access. I don't got.
If you guys are from Washington Heights, you know what loco is.
Yo, shout out
Loco.
Anthony, do you know what loco is?
I don't think so. No.
So it was a shop where they sold like it was like a little mama.
It was
like
before your time. It's okay. It
no,
was
no,
like
it's not. It's not. So it's a shop that they sold like fake little things like sandals, suitcases and stuff like
bootlegs.
that.
Yep. Everybody
And there
Oh,
went
was
to
okay.
get bootleg movies and
yeah,
bootleg CDs. That's the
but
shit.
but it was this African dude. He used to get the albums before they came out.
Before.
So way before they came out. So the Blueprint,
Everything.
I had that a week before.
Fact.
Yo,
Any
He was the
rap album I
plug.
wanted, I would
Plug.
go there. He was
he
like
was
the
the
plug
plug.
plug.
He was the plug. Yep.
So I'm into like all kinds of music, and I went in there and I asked him, "Oh, do you have Linkin Park?" Because Linkin Park had put out a reanimation album of Hybrid Theory, and he's like, "Oh, this bullshit." Yeah, I got it. Look, I got a few of them. So I was hyped to hear reanimation like a week and a half before it came out. So Loco Loco, it used to be where what's the name of that big restaurant? It's like Miami or something like that.
South
Republic,
Beach. South Beach.
South,
On
South
St.
Beach.
Nick.
Oh,
It's on that block. It
Yeah.
used to be right next to the
Yeah.
bakery. So
There's
that's a little.
Abdul used to work in there. Abdul used to work in there.
That's his name.
Abdul.
That's
Yeah, Abdul.
Shout out to him.
tall dude. Like
Yeah.
Bro, shout out to him.
he used to give me all the clue tapes, all the
Yeah,
beats.
yeah.
Then I go to Fredo's and do my little
Smack
freestyle.
DVDs, everything.
yeah.
All that.
Shout out to Abdul. Shout out to that Repa lady. Rest in peace.
Rest in
She used to
peace.
be
Yes.
on the corner on Broadway. All the good Hobbyland. All the good spots.
Yeah. So a lot of people are commenting about that, the history. So I have this crazy segment that we do. Is sponsored by a different concept. I'm sorry. Let me just pop in my other two hosts right here. Always in the building.
What's going on, Leg?
Yo,
What's going on, Anthony?
Oh, from the terrace.
what's good?
And the
Ellie,
one and
Hi.
only
Craze,
How are you?
Rebel.
live from
Yeah.
the balcony.
Live from the balcony once again. So this is a segment that is called Boom. Hold on a second. Let me take this
Damn, that
ticket
shit is
off.
dope.
Damn, that shit is dope. This is Creators Anonymous, sponsored by A Different Concept. So, would you please explain to me what A Different Concept is?
A different concept is an idea. I am not a designer. This is not a brand. You're aware of my thoughts, my concepts, a different concept.
With that being said, this segment we highlight something that we've seen on social media that just like stopped everything we were doing and we just admire that person's work. We necessarily sometimes don't know these creators, but these are creators we wanted to highlight. Right. So I'm gonna let O go first.
All right. So,
O, give me yours.
so my creator is Heck Tad.
Hey.
I grew up seeing his graffiti everywhere, right? And the funny thing about this, right? I was just having this conversation with my father-in-law. So with seeing graffiti artists on IG now, it's one of the dope things about like this whole social media thing, because there is negative sides to it, but these are one of the dope things where he's now doing work that he would have got arrested for back in the 90s. You know what I'm saying, where now like this gave you a, like you couldn't bomb a car, a train car and sell it. Like people would look at it and then the MTA would cover it up right away, where now you have the outlet to do your work on canvas, do it on actually anything.
Never stop loving. Look at that piece.
And you could purchase it. So it's like, oh, this is dope.
So, I don't want to date me, you, Craze, and a couple other people here, but what is bombing a train car? Because I don't think this generation knows what that is.
I know what it is. I'm aware.
All right, cool.
Denny, you know what it is? Tell us what it is.
When you would like go on the trains and do graffiti, right?
Yes, 100%
All
correct.
right, cool.
Yeah.
I
But
dated myself.
it was done like dark when these trains were already parked. So
Bombing, getting up.
bombing, yeah.
Yeah, so like in the morning when the train rolled out, it didn't have just one piece. The whole train was covered.
Mm-hmm. I'm
So
feeling this part. Right.
bombed.
This one right here is crazy.
That one's hot.
So let me do. Let's go around. Well, actually, before we went on, De Niro BX in the building. Oh, somebody know O's used to be a
Who's that?
rapper.
Who's that?
Anthony, I told you at the beginning of the hour that there's a creative you might have to highlight. Who did you have in mind?
So the first one that came to mind is this photographer. Her name is Flor Dalis. That's her on Instagram as well, and she takes these beautiful portraits. And she's from the Bronx, I believe, and she shoots on 35 millimeter and 120 millimeter, and it's like just these beautiful, stunning portraits that portray the hood in the most like beautiful and profound way. Like people often have negative connotations with like what the hood is. And she just portrays it as like, nah, the hood is beautiful. The hood, like, this is what we're about, and this is us. So Flor Dalis is definitely my recommendation.
Leg got a bunch tucked.
Yeah, I got a few.
Give me one.
I interviewed this dude. His name is L_Sekis, Cekis, and he's like an old school graffiti writer from Chile, you know, who grew up on graffiti. And then, you know, he's a dope ass graffiti writer. And then he also does some branding and some entrepreneur stuff. He got some bucket hats. He's a real dope artist, real quiet, real timid, but just one of these dudes. He's a real dude that's been putting it down forever.
Hey, Led.
Yeah.
It's funny that you shouted him out. I got so what I've been doing now is whenever I see one that I like, I send it to myself.
Oh, okay.
He's in my stash of creators.
Yeah, he's dope.
What's his ad again?
It's L_Sekis. I did an interview with him last month for Noma, the Dykeman Diary, did the video for. And, you know, just a real fascinating dude. Like, you know, he was doing graffiti, but it was like a dictatorship in Chile. So you couldn't do graffiti. They might disappear your ass. You know what I mean? And then just like how the influence, you know, they're not from New York, but that New York shit is so real to them that he took on that whole thing and moved to New York. He lives out here. He actually he was one of the people that did a piece in the tunnel when it was in 2015, when it was brand new. He had a piece in the tunnel. The tunnel looked fucked up now, but when it looked good, he was one of the reasons.
Thank you for that. And you see, you took one of O's out. O had it already.
Yeah.
Nah, but that's the dope
Great minds
part
think
about
alike.
this.
Great minds think alike.
So I want to go with Ellie. Ellie always brings something very interesting.
Okay. So y'all know that I love my crystals, right? So mine is J. Drew Silvers. He creates these awesome shelves so you could put your crystals on, but look at the different shapes. So me personally, I actually bought this elephant. I got it recently, and it's freaking beautiful. But look, yes, that's the one that I want. Look at the cat that I want.
I'm gonna get the cat. I think I'm gonna get the cat now.
See, I told you. I showed Rebel the other day, and she's like, "Wait, I need this too." But yeah, all the designs
check this
are
piece
amazing.
out right here.
That's dope.
Is that crazy?
That's dope.
All handmade.
Fire. And yo, Ellie's always supporting people, man.
Ellie always got.
I got a whole bunch of people that I gotta support. Honestly, there's so many people out there that have beautiful work, and we just need to shine light on that. Honestly,
and this is why this segment exists.
Yeah.
So, I want to go with Craze Boogie, but I'll be honest with y'all. Oh, I got Craze Boogies. I almost forgot, but this one. This is dope. I like this one a lot.
Yo, powerful pieces by this dude, dope ass artist.
Look at this piece.
Wow.
That's the one that spoke to me.
Birth of a Nation.
That's a movement right there.
Birth of a Nation.
I want that one.
I don't know. His stuff is just like,
that's
crazy. You know, he captures you know how they say like a picture's worth 1,000 words?
Yes.
This dude shit's like 3,000. You know, like I feel like he always he brings some heat. But yeah, that's More Than Mike D.
That was dope.
You know,
I think this one's a shirt also.
Yeah.
Oh, for real?
Oh, wow.
Shout out to More Than Mike D. Love this dude. Just been following. Don't know him at all. Just like
right
somebody.
That's not funny.
That's dope. That's dope.
Just like, you know, somebody who's mine. I just admire how his fucking
I'm gonna just
mind.
look at this part though.
Yeah, man. How his mind puts together images, yo. Just like somebody that creates a fucking visual that I'm like, fuck, man, that's genius.
This piece speaks to me on so many levels.
Yeah, bro. It tells mad. There's a lot of imagery there. There's a lot of symbolism. Fire. More Than Mike D. At More Than Mike D. Shout out to him. Love it.
So,
how about you, bro? Did you?
I'm gonna do mine now. I'll save Rebel for last. Rebel's like my secret weapon.
Let's go.
So I'm going with the Whole Town Kid, another Haven person. Valiant Art. She did a piece recently. She does more than just like paintings and canvases. But she did a piece that really spoke to me. She went to Incarnation with me as well. But this right here
Yo.
is
Yo.
insane.
When
Yeah.
y'all get the chance, check out the rest of this creator's work. Right. I was
Mhm.
Yeah.
looking at the other pictures, and some of them are so detailed that it creeped me out. I was like,
Mhm.
So,
I didn't know if it was nasty or ill, but it still made me feel something.
all right. So I got a couple more. I got this one right here with Kanye.
Wow.
Wow.
So, and I also have Bill Cosby, who's recently released from jail. So it's like
Wow.
Yo,
That's such an accurate
Oh
description
shit.
of Bill
The
I like
Cosby.
caption though.
Goonies.
Like,
Goonies.
yo.
it's kind of like he's the boogeyman or whatever, you know.
For real.
Yeah.
Dash Shade, that's my guy right there.
Yo.
But she's from the Heights. She's from Incarnation, and I believe she just started posting her work up.
Mhm.
And she was so happy with the response that she got off this
Wild.
Robin Williams piece.
That
Because
one is wild.
if you know his story, this
Right.
this
Yep.
thing is
Yeah.
insane.
yeah,
So
he suffered from depression, and he like,
big time.
yeah, he was great
Um,
though.
so let me hold on one second. Let me go back and remove. You know, this is what happens. Rebel, ladies and gentlemen, Rebel's in the building. She always brings some insane creative. Just give me one second. This is Rebel's piece. This week it was pretty good. I liked it. It was cute. I thought it was cute. So this is Rebel's person.
Yeah, so this guy's
Rebel.
not even from New York, actually. I just realized that. He's from North Carolina. But you know me, I'm a cat lady. I'm not like one of those lesbian cat ladies that has like 20 cats, but I love cats, yo, and the graphics are amazing. Like he even put a cat on the Goldie Bridge. Like that was pretty dope. I don't know if you can find it, but yeah,
So
see cats chewing
cute.
on shit, super cute. And it's just so realistic. I just love it. Honestly, the cats.
Hey.
I only picked it because of the cats. Like, let's be real. I
Obviously. Yeah.
fucking love me some cats.
So you know a creator is dope when you got Steve Lucen like in the photo. Shout out to Steve Lucen.
Word up.
Let me see. Am I missing someone? Ellie went. Everybody went, right?
Everybody went.
Oh, thank you.
Rebel's
So,
Rebel's
voice.
voice.
Rebel's voice.
So, Rick, could I close it?
Yes, you can.
All right, so I want to thank everybody for participating in Creators Anonymous. This is session 9. No, it's actually session 10. Session 9 we didn't post. That one was a little sloppy. This is session 10 of Creators Anonymous.
Okay.
I appreciate you guys for noticing and pointing out the dope shit you saw on the internet. Let's continue to do it. You guys enjoy the rest of your show. Anthony, good luck. You're a great looking guy.
Thank you.
You see?
Thank you.
No. Sometimes you gotta be honest and be
You
like,
gotta recognize.
Yeah. You be like, damn. God,
First of all,
Beautiful.
That's a pretty dude right there.
that's a pretty
But
guy
I
right
said
there.
that to Ellie when I saw him. Like he's pretty. Like
so if Benny Banks is telling him that he should be in it, Benny Banks, he thinks he's the top tier of men. He said you should be an actor. That means he's just giving you his pop.
That was Benny's way of saying, yo, you mad cute.
Yeah.
Guys, have a good night, man.
Thank you, O.
Good night.
Thank
Oh,
That's fun.
That was so great.
a lot of love in this episode.
A lot of love in this episode. So yeah, Anthony, how do you feel about that? Men telling you that you're an attractive man, that you got a future.
No, I appreciate that 100%. Like, I appreciate all the comments. Like, you know, my confidence is not always up there, so you know, I appreciate it.
So we're gonna go into something a little different right now. We're gonna go into another segment. This is called What the Cards Say.
What do the cards say?
hey,
So this is
Okay.
Ellie's segment.
you been shuffling, Ellie?
You already know. I already got 3 cards, but I'm gonna still shuffle and see what's up.
Yo,
But
I
yeah.
never get to get my cards read on this show.
Yo,
I got
Maybe next
dog.
time.
No, yeah.
This is
I would
all
love to
for
do that.
lead
Everybody gets a card.
and
I got my
Anthony.
cards last night. I got
You're
special
right.
treatment.
You're right.
She actually did. So I have another card, a card deck that's called the Dark Days. So that's more about shadow work, but we're keeping it light today. Yeah, we're keeping it light. Oh, look at that. Okay, we got one. Okay, so All right. You want to hear? Oh, also, let me just shout out this deck because it's so freaking beautiful. This is about self-care. We're in Cancer season, baby. So we're all about self-care right now. All right. So,
okay.
Yes.
I didn't know that.
Yeah, we're in Cancer season. So everybody is kind of like going within. I know that I've been analyzing a lot also with what's up, Benny? You want to get your cards read? You're like, what's good? So we got 4 cards for you, Anthony. Okay. So the first one, which is so funny that both of us are Cancers, we got sync with the moon. So what that means to me, honestly, is the fact that, yes, we are in Cancer season, but we have to go within and we have to be aware of our emotions. This is something that Rebel and I were actually speaking on last night. We have to just be in alignment with what we're feeling and not feel guilty about feeling like, okay, maybe I don't want to be in the public eye right now. Maybe I want to go within. Maybe I just want to stay home today. You got to just stay true to what you're feeling at the moment. And you just got to sink in with yourself. So that's what I feel from that. All right. Then we have burning bowl ritual. I'm not sure if you've ever done a burning bowl ritual. Have you?
Is that where you like put like notes in like a little fire and like let it go?
100%. Yes,
Right.
exactly.
Okay,
So this
I
is
did it
exactly
once
what
or
she's
twice.
doing. Yeah. Okay. Amazing. So it's encouraging you to let go of things that you don't need anymore. Also, you can do the opposite with the burning bowl ritual, and you can actually burn things on a little thing. Oh, I love you guys too. And you can actually burn little, I think, pieces of bay leaves. You could write little things on your bay leaves, whatever it may be, and you could bring it to you. So when you burn it, it actually brings it towards you. So that's something new that you should do. So yeah, it's encouraging you to let go of what you don't need and basically bring in what you want. And the next two, oh, I love this one, of course. Create art, which you're already doing. So I feel like you just need to, again, sink in with yourself, be in tune, and also just keep on creating. Like I was gonna ask you, well, I'll ask you the question in a bit, but I honestly feel like at this moment you're in your prime time, especially since we're in our special season. We have to just tune in and we just need to, create whatever's on our mind right now. Even if you think it's something that you don't think is gonna be accepted from the public, it doesn't matter. Just do it. Just be confident, Then the last one that I just picked out was look to the stars. So what I feel is that your guides are basically guiding you, and your higher, the divine, I feel right now is, especially for us, since we're water signs, we're very in tune. Okay. So the fact is that they're basically telling you that they're around and they want you to be in tune with them. And also for some reason, I feel like, I don't know if you do have like any type of like dreams that come true, like premonitions. Ever? It could be personal. I know this is a little personal because sometimes it is kind of personal when it comes to that. But personally, I do. But if you do, it's telling you to pay attention to those and write them down in a journal. So that's what I just got now. But yeah, look into the stars because you're being led down the right path. I love it. Yeah, it's really interesting.
Love that. Thank you. Yeah,
of course. Of course. I'm like, who's next?
Craze, because Craze has been begging for one.
I got you, Craze. I got you.
I think we should do lead right now.
Okay.
Impromptu, do some shuffling.
I got you. We're gonna do the same deck, by the way. Okay.
Okay. Perfect.
All right.
I'm
so
ready to receive.
All right. I mean, is there anything that you want to know? Is there any questions that you want to ask, or let's see?
Not really.
No,
really.
Nothing.
Whatever the cards say.
Okay, nothing about love, work. Okay.
I'm married. I don't worry about love. You know what I mean?
Oh, you're fine then. You're fine.
Yeah, I'm good.
All right.
I love how people assume that you're fine just because you're married. Like, I don't know about that. I don't know about that.
That's true too.
That's so true. Ooh.
Rebel, I agree with you
Andrew,
on a lot of things.
Take a ticket, bro.
Oh, wow. Funny. All right. So connect with your ancestors. We got a good one here. So what I feel from this is the fact that you, I don't know if you do have premonitions in your dreams or if you have any type of signs. Let's say if you see angel numbers around you, if you're seeing, like me, for example, sometimes I'll be in a store and I'll be thinking about a question or thinking something to myself, and then I'll hear a song and the lyrics will actually resonate with what I'm asking myself, which is so weird. For some reason, I'm telling, like, since you're in the music biz and you're in the entertainment business, I feel like you should just stay in tune with what movies you're trying to watch and what movies you're trying to watch, the music that's around you that you hear. You're going to hear messages in that. So your ancestors are trying to connect with you. So there's something that they want you to know. But yeah, just tune in. A good way that you can do that, you can put amethyst. If you rock with crystals, you can put amethyst under your pillow, or lavender, which is actually really good for sleep as well. And yeah, you should be having some cool dreams.
Nice.
If you do. All right. So yeah, that's what the cards say. So yes, I do personal readings if anybody is interested, but all you got to do is DM me. So
yes, just for card readings.
Right.
Yeah.
Don't slide in the DM and be like, because I got too many of those. Like, we're like, no. You're like
So before we go into Rebels,
yay.
you guys, you don't understand who Rebel is.
Yo.
But before we go into that, Craze Boogie
My head is
has
gonna
a
be like
question.
this. Yo.
Craze Boogie has a question for Anthony and Led. And then actually we have a special treat after this episode is all wrapped up. We're actually gonna premiere Ellie's. Well, it's out already, but we're gonna play Ellie's brand new music video.
Ooh, stop it! Oh, I love you guys.
My question is really about like what's next. Led, I always want to know what's next Uptown, and so that's my question to you. But Anthony, just you personally, what's next on the? I know that right now, this is still like you mentioned, festival mode for your documentary. But once that kind of like you get a grip on that, what's next for you?
Just keep making movies. Really, just keep doing what I do. Keep taking photos. Keep doing keep pushing. I'm currently working on a show right now. In a production. I'm a production assistant. It's actually for the new Sex and the City show.
Hey.
Nice.
Yes.
Fire.
Thank you. I appreciate that. So that's taking up a lot of my time, but
beautiful.
Definitely just to keep making films, keep making art.
I want to meet Miranda one day. So
Me too.
Right?
She's like my favorite, bro.
I'm such a Miranda. Led, what's up Uptown coming up?
So the New York Latino Film Festival returns September 14th to the 19th.
Let's go.
It's gonna be big. At the end of this month, Romeo Santos has a new documentary coming out for HBO.
Max,
so they're doing
yes.
a dope ass event Uptown, and it's gonna be again, stay tuned Uptown Collective because I'm just getting word of it. But it's gonna be real dope. So it's gonna be in some spot of town. They're gonna recreate like a barbershop, a salon, Romeo Santos' room in the Bronx. Like this is gonna be crazy.
That's so cool.
Yeah, so I think the Uptown Collective is gonna do an event at that spot at some point, I think early August. So stay tuned for that. And I also did the Moth June 30th with Lin-Manuel. I was on the same stage as him, which is dope.
Oh,
you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And it's funny, I've been a fan of the Moth, but when they asked me early June, I was like, bet, let's do it. But then it was like, yo, that shit is really hard. It's 10-minute story without notes, right? So you're like, what the fuck, right? And then I agreed to it. And then the day I get there, you know what I'm saying? I thought I was like, oh, my name is First. I'm first. Oh, good. But then I realized I'm last. So Lin-Manuel goes to me, yo, lad, you headlining, no pressure. I was like, wow. But it was at the United Palace. So that video, I don't know when that's going to come out, but when it comes out, I'll definitely share with y'all. Please. It was like the biggest night of my professional life. So it was pretty dope. So I got to headline an event with Lin-Manuel, which is dope.
Fucking fire. We need that video. We need to see.
Yeah.
So Lin was your opening act.
Basically. No, he was number 3. He closed off the first segment, but the motherfucker, he's so good, he cried. I'm like, oh my god, like this guy's crying, like he's so fucking good. Like, but again, it was funny because he was next to last, and then Kiara spoke, who also wrote In the Heights. And then when I got on stage, I was nervous until I got on that stage because as performers, like Ellie knows, like when you're in that stage, it's different. Like and when I got on that stage, I felt like God was there with me, like it had prepped it for me, like because people like, who the fuck is Led Black, right? Because they don't know me. It was like 3,000 people online. They just know Lynn. They know Kiara. Who this got to be last? And then I killed it. So it felt divine. It felt cosmic. You know what I mean?
Divine.
Yeah.
That's what's up.
Love that.
Yeah.
So,
we ready. We ready for all this Uptown stuff.
we are 100% ready. We're also ready for this segment right here.
Let's go.
Yeah.
So let's hear. So he's never met Rebel. I think it's proper for me and Craze to let the world know that the future is here.
Let's go.
Rebel, can you
my
give
hair's
us
a mess right now.
Sin's perspective?
The silky voice.
Hold on. The silky voice. Okay.
You got commented on it.
I know.
You gotta
Thanks, Andrew. I mean, damn, he knows how to win a lady over. That was pretty dope.
Rebel.
I should be like one of. Let me not even say that. Yeah, yo. So today's segment, I wanted to talk about how we should stop giving with expectation, and I wanted to talk about this because I've been on both sides of the spectrum. And I've been the one that gives with expectation in my past, and that doesn't feel so good. And I've been the one that's been giving to with expectation of something in return, and that doesn't feel good either. So stop giving with expectation, right? Stop giving with the expectation that it will secure your place in someone else's life. Stop giving with the expectation to access to their resources, access to their time or their energy. The issue is when we give with expectations and those expectations are not fulfilled, we become resentful, right? And we might see the people that we give to as selfish, but in reality, we're only projecting our own self-interest. And to them, we might come off as manipulative, right? Ingenuine or inauthentic. So always give with always check your intentions when you're giving to someone. Are you giving to someone out of the kindness of your heart? Or are you giving to them because you want them to like you? Right? Because if it is that you're giving to them because you want them to like you, you have to look at your self-worth meter. And I say self-worth meter because self-worth comes on a spectrum, right? Because when we give to someone with expectation of their love and attention, it's because we don't think that we can win over their love naturally, organically, or authentically, right? We base our worth and our self-value on the things that we can offer. And it's understanding that your presence and your energy is all you need to gain someone's love. And if that doesn't work, then that person is not for you. So stop giving with expectation.
I love that.
Let's go.
Wow.
It's like we always get left speechless. Like, damn, yo, we gotta go within and we gotta think about this. Nah, but beautiful words, Rebel. Honestly, I can definitely relate. We've had talks on this, and it's like we just need to give from the kindness of our heart, just because we want to, not because we're gonna expect the same in return. It's just
right, and the universe will replenish you. It might not come from that person; it might come from someone else.
Exactly.
So
I'm writing that in my journal.
Yes.
Fact.
Good topic. Yes. So I'll be honest with you. Me and Craze are always hyped about these segments. You know, I love Ellie's segments because they're organic. She reads the cards
on the spot,
and they're always on the freaking spot. And then, Led, you just witnessed Sin's perspective.
Yes.
Give me your organic thoughts on it, Anthony. You too.
Organic.
I think
Led is always real.
Yeah, nice. It was much needed advice, man. That's really true. A lot of times, you know, you hold the door because you want someone to say thank you. You hold the door because you should hold the door. Right. And a lot of times, we give that way, and you really shouldn't be that way. And again, with social complicates things so much because it's like people don't even know how to act on social. So I think, those kind of common sense things, we all need to hear them. You know what I mean? It's important.
Anthony, what'd you think?
Nah, I agree. I think that was a perfect analogy. I have found myself in that position so many times, and it's true what you said. You just have to let go of that expectation of expecting a certain response or expecting a certain action because you did this. You just have to kind of just let it go, like you said, and just if it happens, it happens. If it doesn't, it doesn't. Very, very beautiful words. Speechless.
So Anthony, because you gave without expecting, when the documentary comes out, you will have the full support of the Uptown Live Media Army. So
yes,
that it's 1, 2. How many of us is Jayla, Gigi? Yeah.
It's 7 of us, I think.
6, 7, 8 people. So we'll help you out, man.
Thank you. I
Love
appreciate
your
that.
work.
Always.
Apparently, somebody wants a cafecito to listen to Rebel.
Let's go.
Rachel. Was it Rachel? No, it's Roseanne.
Roman.
Okay.
Thank you to everybody who's listened. Thank you to Let Black.
Yeah.
Les always welcome on the show, by the way. He's an ambassador to the show.
Thank you.
Anthony, keep doing the dope work. You got a bright future, young man.
No, Anthony, you're doing great, especially for 23. I mean, you're amazing. You're super talented.
So
I was looking at some of your work, and I was like, yo, I need to like get on his level.
So I just want to leave you.
Seriously.
I want to leave you, Anthony, with one last thing. Hard work beats talent when talent doesn't work hard.
Facts.
And
100%.
Just keep that in your mind, right? So without further ado, I want to have some fun. My co-host is a singer. I think she's dope. She does great music. When the last movie theater in Washington Heights comes out, we will announce it. It's in its film festival run right now. But when there is a viewing available Uptown, we will announce it. Let Black follow led_black, or if you are not already at Uptown Collective, and if you're not going to the site and you're not reading the blogs and you're not following the page, I don't know what you're doing with your life.
Do that.
Thank you,
So
brother. Thank you.
I wanted to have some fun. I wanted to premiere Ellie's music video on our show.
Which
by the way, I didn't even know he was doing this.
That's how I like to do things. So the premiere of Eli Jas's El Afán on the Rick Gay Show. Enjoy the video. We'll see you guys next week. Our host will be Dot Shot It, my brother from 172nd. His photos were featured in the post of In the Heights. So if you saw the movie, when the credits came up, his photos were there. Besides that, just look at his work, man. It speaks for itself. He's such a dope photographer. He'll be on the show next week. So are you guys ready for Ellie's video?
You ready?
We're ready.
For some bachata? You already know.
Vamos a bailar.
Eli Jas, El Afán.
Let's go.
Me parece extraño que invertiste tantos años y se fueron volando. Pero la culpable no soy yo. Él está a mi lado, detrás de un legado sin final. Soy su amiga, soy su amante y soy mucho más. No lo llames, que tu voz ya no le da paz. No te acerques, ya perdiste la oportunidad. No te molestes al ver que nos encontramos y te sabe amargo. No, no te enojes conmigo si nos amamos y esto va para largo. Yo soy la inspiración y su motivación para hacer todo lo que quieres ser. Déjala afán porque él ya te olvidó. Él me dijo que careces cualidades que yo sin mucho esfuerzo supe darle. Que eres manipuladora, violenta, abrumadora y que tú nunca le diste su valor. No lo llames, que tu voz ya no le da paz. No te acerques, ya perdiste la oportunidad. No te molestes al ver que nos encontramos y te sabe amargo. No, no te enojes conmigo si nos amamos y esto va para largo. nos encontramos y te sabe amargo. No, no te enojes conmigo si nos amamos y esto va para largo. Yo soy la inspiración y su motivación para hacer todo lo que quieres ser. Déjalo afán porque él ya te olvidó.
You know the vibes.